You know the conversation. Defense wins championships, but does defense win regular season games? We are about to find out on Sunday as the high-powered Cowboys come to town. The best offense in football against arguably the best defense in football. We're going deep. You are all gorillaed out with the hat and with the coffee mug. Do you have any other gorilla things that you are promoting today?
My panties I'm wearing. I can't show you them, Eric, because that might be an FCC violation. Is that how the FCC works? Do they care about?
FCC does not regulate anything on the internet.
Because the FCC won't let me be me, so let me see. They tried to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me.
Ooh, that's pretty good rapping from a guy who is a rapper.
That's right.
Unfortunately, you stole somebody else's material.
Well, that was Eminem. That for those out there.
Marshall Mathers.
Well, Slim Shady.
Well done. Let's jump right into this whole Sean Payton thing with Russell Wilson. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So Wilson all pissed off, thinking that, Payton took a shot at him yesterday. Sean Payton said, quote, "In no way, shape, or form was that comment directed at Russ. I see you smiling, but understands how it could come off that way." Rather, Payton said he was just pumping the tires of Jackson Dart. Do you believe him?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Allow me to do that impersonation. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, but I wanted Hillary to win so I could run the internship program.
Okay, very good. Of course, Sean Payton was taking a shot at Russell Wilson. This is a guy who chooses his words very carefully, Sean Payton. I mean, oftentimes he'll start talking and then he'll stop because he doesn't want to say that. And then he'll go another direction until, he knows what he's saying. And he knew what he was saying when he took that shot at Russell. He was saying the quarterbacks behind him are not very good. We would have had an easy game if Russell Wilson was in there. That's obvious.
Either Sean Payton has zero self-awareness or he meant to say it. I would say to Sean, pick which lane you want to travel in, because it's one of the two. It's kind of like if you're talking about a woman and you say, is she good looking? And your answer is she's got a great personality. You know what the interpretation is going to be to everybody else.
Are you saying Sean Payton was saying Russ has a great personality?
I definitely don't think he likes his personality.
He doesn't. He must think he's really hot then. Sean Payton knew what he was saying. Sean Payton likes to wax poetic sometimes and tell stories about his past. Because every time that you play an opponent, there's a new story for Sean Payton to talk about when he was a kid and he was in Pennsylvania and his cousin went to math school. It was in math class with Vic, and then he's over in London and he's got the Leicester Panthers and there's a whole thing there, and there's always something, right? There's always something to wax poetic and have a soliloquy about. This time it was John Mara and the owner of the Giants, and they were talking and he spent time. So of course he knew that. Of course he knew what he was saying. He's not a dum-dum.
Do you think he would have said it if the Broncos would have lost?
No, absolutely not. No, because it just wouldn't, he wouldn't have had that.
He was puffing his chest out. Even though he came off in the press conference is very upset right off the hop because of the way the game is played, quarters 1 through 3.
Yeah.
I think the players, for at least a short amount of time, were reveling in that fourth quarter comeback.
As they should.
Yeah.
It was an awesome comeback.
Yep.
The most joy that Broncos country's felt in a long time.
Right.
The best game they've ever been a part of. I mean, who cares? I mean, yes, you got some stuff to clean up, and that's what the week is for. You go over there, you're critical about it, but let's not get too sad about it. But Sean Payton was sad. Why? Because his plan didn't work. And the plan that worked was when he had to let the reins go and let these guys just run.
Let's get into the Broncos against the Cowboys. Dak Prescott is having an MVP-type season. He has been sacked a total of 8 times. Javonte Williams looks like he has been reborn.
Yeah.
5.4 yards a carry. You can make the argument CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, arguably top 3 wide receiver duo in football.
Oh, yeah.
It is unquestioned right now that Jake Ferguson is the best tight end in football. He is the first guy to over 50 catches and 6 touchdowns through 7 games in NFL history. And oh, by the way, the Cowboys arguably have the best offensive line in football. Now that I've laid all of this out, knowing that the Colts, who at least in terms of points, have the most points in the NFL this year, and the Giants scored plenty of points on the Broncos, what makes you believe the Broncos are going to slow down the Cowboys?
Nothing. And so the Broncos offense needs to come to play. This is a huge challenge for Sean Payton, Bo Nix in this offense. And that's, I think, why he's a little uptight. You know, he knows that, look, they're not facing the Giants this year. They're not facing a rookie quarterback named Jackson Dart. They're facing Dak Prescott, who, like you said, is on an MVP trajectory and has a ton of weapons at his disposal. The Broncos offense has to put up points, and they cannot wait till the fourth quarter to do it.
How many points do they need in this game, the offense, to win?
30.
Wow. Now,
you got to remember the Cowboys had a 40-40 tie this year.
Here's something else to know about the Cowboys. Number 1 offense, dead last in defense.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of an imbalance there.
A little bit, 1 in 32.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, there are only 32 teams.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Broncos, similar imbalance. Now, their offense is top half of the league, but it's definitely their weakness, and they've had some struggles. And if it wasn't for a couple of really strong fourth quarters, the Broncos offense would be bottom 3rd in the league.
Right.
So the Broncos have a similar sort of imbalance. It's just the other way. So something's got to give here. The Broncos defense has to force some turnovers here, in my opinion. Yeah, they got to remind themselves of their sack prowess, get after Dak, force some errant throws.
He doesn't take sacks, though. And that offensive line's unbelievably good.
Well, guess what?
And Javonte Williams is a pretty good blocking back.
So should we just not even play the game now?
No, I'm just spitting facts.
Exactly. So the Broncos defense is going to take this challenge, and they're going to come to play. I think they'll play well, but I don't think they'll be able to stop the Cowboys. Now, Riley Moss is going to get attacked by George Pickens.
Yeah.
One of the better receivers in the league. And Riley Moss, who's up for it every single week, he's going to be up for it again. But that's what's going to happen here. They're going to air the ball out. And by the way, Javonte Williams has a little something for the Broncos as well.
Yeah.
They let him go. And they never really used him right, or at least that's what he's thinking. And I think that too. I mean, you see a guy having success elsewhere. The Broncos have a really good offensive line. They had a good offensive line the last couple of years.
His knee is finally not healed, but it is mended with more time. And I think that's one reason why we're watching Javonte Williams do what he does. What does he do best? He is great after contact. And that's where his yards come into play. But if he got a bum knee, I think almost every ligament in his knee was shredded. ACL, MCL, meniscus. I don't know what I'm missing here, but now it is further healed. And now we are seeing the old Javonte Williams.
Yeah, but even the old Javonte Williams was never really relied on here.
Well,
he never got 1,000 yards. He's got
because it was a dual back situation with him. He was spending time, I believe, with Melvin Gordon.
What I'm saying is the Broncos have not been able to get an 1,000-yard rusher or establish a running game from start to finish in a season and have a guy really do what Javonte Williams is doing in Dallas. Now, J.K. Dobbins was sort of on pace there. And if we were to keep feeding him and not pulling him out every time he gets a 6-yard gain and replacing him with a whole new personnel group that's going to do a swing pass to the receiver and have 3 other receivers try to block for him. And if one of those receivers misses a block, the play gets blown up. Now, I know this wasn't the question you asked, but I went back and watched the game again, some of the stuff they were doing in the first half, and all these screen passes behind the line of scrimmage. They're all these passes to the side are relying upon receivers, tight ends, and running backs to block a hat on a hat. So it's not just a hat on a hat with the 5 offensive linemen. Everybody's got to make their block, and if one guy misses it, it's a tackle in the backfield. Well, they have been missing it. The receivers out there, the tight ends and running backs who are responsible for making those blocks, one of them every play is missing the block. And so it's getting blown up in the backfield. How about don't do those plays anymore?
But wait a minute. Sean Payton had a spirited conversation with a writer from the Denver Post when Sean was asked a question by Luca, and they were talking about bubble screens. And Sean got defensive. He goes, well, we had a bunch of big plays on bubble screens. And Sean Payton said to Luca, how many? And Luca said maybe 2 or 3. And he goes, you need to go back and watch the tape. We had more than that.
He's talking about the whole season?
He's talking about the whole game. Did you see that?
Big plays?
Did you see?
I saw Marvin Mims had a first down because he made a play because he's a playmaker. You
Right.
got to get the ball in his hands. But I saw a lot of them get blown up. I saw one get on 4th and goal from the 2-yard line, thrown to Cortland Sutton behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And didn't even get a chance to make a move. It was so congested. Their safety came free and blew him up. If you're going to throw the ball to Cortland Sutton on the 2-yard line, throw it to him in the end zone on a one-on-one. A fade over there on the guy who can't cover him, instead of throwing him the ball in the backfield and asking 3 guys in front of him, 3 receivers, by the way, to make a block when you got 2 guys behind him, unblocked, coming free to blow him up.
Right.
It didn't seem, hindsight, of course, we're going to say, oh, the play didn't work. What are you doing, right? So there's always this revisionist sort of Monday morning quarterback where it's like, what are you doing, coach? But I think, to me, the lack of a north-south attack, throw everyone in the route. Let everybody run their route and think they might get the ball instead of having it be to one guy. It's a play I designed, and it goes to this one guy, and everyone else is going to block for this one guy. Sometimes that works, but relying upon it too much doesn't. And I think that these defenses have sniffed that out with the Broncos. They are waiting for those plays, and I think it's time to cross them off the list.
This show brought to you by Landmark Lincoln and the brand new Lincoln Navigator. You got to take this thing for a test drive. Look at that beauty, inside and outside. All due respect to Liv, I am talking about the car. When I said it's a beauty, okay, Liv's a beautiful woman, okay, but that car is something special. Take the car for a test drive, and I'm going to leave it at that because you probably know where I'm going with the next word test drive, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Go find Landmark Lincoln. You see where I'm about to step in.
I just think you should continue to read.
Yeah, you should go to Landmark Lincoln off of Broadway in Inglewood. Why do you think the Broncos offensively, in terms of Bo Nix throwing the ball, besides bubble screens, everything is outside the numbers and he's not attacking the middle of the field? Because isn't that where the game is played these days?
Well, yeah. I mean, the plays need to be called.
Fourth quarter, everything's over the middle.
Yeah.
Quarters 1 through 3, everything is outside the numbers.
Too cute, baby. I mean, we spent all week putting in these plays, and if they do this, we're going to do this, and if they do this, we're going to do this. We have a personnel group for that. When if it's 2nd and 8, and we're bringing these guys in, and it's just like it's a little overload. And then Bo is being drilled into his head. If they do, if they have this look, just go to the swing right away. Just go to the running back running on the flat right away. Just go there right away. And so Bo really doesn't have a lot of freedom, I feel like, mentally to throw the ball where he wants. It's like a lot of times these young quarterbacks and with these coaches who are very demanding, like Sean Payton, there's one answer. There's one answer to the test. Whatever they do out there, there's one answer. And if you don't throw it to that guy, you made a mistake.
How do you cure the ills of getting the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage?
So that's
advice from Nate to Bo Jackson. Bo Nix.
Jackson. Well,
that'd be something, wouldn't it?
I don't know if yeah, that would be something.
Especially with that bad hip. I think that right now, Bo Nix would beat Bo Jackson in a foot race.
You think so?
I know so. Now, can he throw the ball for as strong as Bo Nix's arm is? Can he throw the ball basically from the warning track on the fly to the catcher to get a runner out?
Yeah.
Answer is probably no. I bet Bo could probably come close to this day. Bo Jackson.
You think so?
Yeah.
Greatest athlete of your generation?
I might lean towards Deion Sanders, but Bo Jackson's career got cut short.
Yeah.
I think Deion Sanders was a better baseball player than Bo Jackson. And Deion Sanders is arguably the greatest cornerback of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened with Bo Jackson's career football-wise had he not got injured. However, he did. But he was still running. He was running over people.
And Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen were running backs on the same team, coached by Mike Shanahan.
Right. Getting off Bo Jackson. Let's jump on the other Bo.
Right. Yeah. So what I learned from my friend Jake Plummer about the batted balls is that Bo is basically staring down where he's going to throw the ball, and that allows defensive linemen to plan their jump, or if they're getting hemmed up, then wait and put their hand up. And Bo can fix that by not turning his head to where he's going to go. Now you can use your eyeballs because you got this on, and they're looking at your head. They're looking at where your helmet's going. Right. But if you're just like this and you go like that, and then because you know where your guys are supposed to be.
Right.
So some of it is Bo maybe not being fully comfortable with where his guys are supposed to be. The playbook is large. I have a lot going on here. I need to make sure my guy is where I think he's going to be. And the more experience you have in an offense, the less you have to do that. I'm looking at the defense. I'm moving you with my eyes. I already know you're there, Eric. And when I'm ready to rip it, I just turn and rip it. I turn and rip, turn and rip, turn, rip, turn, rip, turn, rip. You know, kind of like that.
How are the meds working out?
Really good.
Ritalin.
Yeah.
We should bring on Ritalin as a sponsor for you.
Yeah.
And you should wear a Ritalin hat.
This is not my Ritalin hat.
What has 2 thumbs and loves Ritalin? This guy.
You know, I was a kid who, if that had been around then, they might have tried to give me that.
Me too.
Instead, what they do, they just told me to go outside and run around, you know, and that's
turned into a football career.
Exactly,
good on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I think that it's not just your eyes, but it's your head. So you can look with your eyes and you can know where guys are, but once you start doing this and like, really, this is where I'm throwing it, then you give guys the time to do that. So I think that's not all of it, but there's also, as Jake was saying, you got to work the clock when you throw the ball. It can't be always from the same level. Sometimes if you see a guy in your space, you got to throw it from a little bit of a sidewinder thing. Oh, my guns look kind of big today. You got to throw it kind of from a sidewinder.
Look, a squirrel.
Yeah. So I think it's 2 things. It's his eyes. He's kind of tipping off where he's going to throw it. And it's also the trajectory of his arm. And being able to slide in the pocket a little bit too, and create some space, and also guys sitting in windows and things like that, you know. So it's not just on Bo, it's on the receivers, it's the system, it's Sean Payton's plays he's calling. Are you comfortable in where you're going to throw it? Or do you like what you're seeing? You didn't see a lot of batted balls in the 4th quarter.
Right.
Why is that? Why? So I think they really have to study the first 3 quarters versus the 4th quarter and the plays that were called. Were they different plays that were called, or is Bo executing him differently in the 4th quarter? And I think that'll tell them a lot about what's going to work going forward.
Let's move back to talking about this matchup against the Cowboys offense. If you're Vance Joseph, what is your game plan? Because it's almost like pick your poison. You want to let, you want to let Dak Prescott throw on you with CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, and Ferguson? Or do you want to let Javonte Williams run the ball?
I think you want to let Javonte Williams run the ball, and I think you got to put heat on Dak Prescott. Even though he's only been sacked 8 times, any quarterback doesn't like duress. They don't like hitting the ground. They don't like getting hit. They don't like guys coming at them. Dak Prescott has been known to get a little loosey-goosey in the past with the ball when he's under pressure, so put him under pressure and make him hurt. The quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
But here's the question for you, because the Cowboys' offensive line is pretty freaking good.
What accent is that?
It's Italian.
I was doing Al Davis.
It is an homage to La Costa Nostra.
It's homage. It's pronounced homage.
Homage. Who are now in the news because Chauncey Billups is in the news. But we don't need to talk about that. We'll look it out. Forget about it.
I'm walking here.
So, Vance Joseph, does he dial up more blitzes?
You know, I think that he does. Dak Prescott's very experienced, so it's not like you're going to trick him a ton, like you could with Jackson Dart or some of these younger, Justin Fields. You have 7 guys at the line of scrimmage, 3 of them bail out, 4 of them rush. I mean, you got to be able to get home with 4,
right?
Because you can't lock these guys down in man coverage every time,
right?
You know what I mean? You talked about the prowess of these receivers and the tight ends and what they have going there,
right?
You want to put these guys in man coverage and then let them, give them all day to throw. So if they are in man, you got to be able to get in there fast. So I see some of these, nickel blitzes and things like that coming. I just see a lot of action in the backfield. I think you have to put pressure on Dak Prescott and, force Javonte to run.
Do you believe in the phrase that defense wins championships?
No, I think that's a little bit of a trite way to put it. I think teams win championships, because there ain't a defense that's won the championship on their own. There
is. We saw it in 2013, in which which the Seahawks shut down at that time. Shut down.
I'm making a practical argument
the greatest offense in NFL history at that time.
How do you win any contest? What determines who wins and who doesn't?
Scoring points.
Points.
Right.
Did the defense score the points, or did the offense score the points?
They forced turnovers.
Did the defense score the points, or so the game you're talking about, the defense scored the points?
In that particular game, that might be an outlier, and that's fine. But I'll look at another game.
All I'm saying is the offense has to score too. Like
I know, I understand.
And so you have it is about balance.
You know what? There's a great saying: if you can't score, you can't win. Right?
Yes.
So with that, when we look at defenses, let's look at the Buccaneers defense and how they attacked Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, in which it looked like, even though the Buccaneers had Tom Brady, it looked like Patrick Mahomes was running from bees. Okay. They shut the Chiefs offense down
by rushing 4 too.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the Seahawks against the Broncos. The Seahawks game plan in 2013 was very simple. We are going to line up the same way every single time. We are not going to blitz. We're going to have a standard 7-man front. Let's see if you can beat us.
Yeah.
And pretty much nobody did,
including
the most high-powered offense in NFL history at that point.
Yeah. I think this Broncos team has to be able to get home rushing 4.
And against that offensive line is going to be a chore.
Chores, hey man, I mean, can be completed. You can, you take out the trash, clean the bathroom, clean up your room, do the laundry. Those are chores, and you do them. You do them well. And the Broncos have a chore ahead of them, rushing 4 against a really good offensive line. But that means you're going to get some single, not coverage, but one-on-one matchups. You don't think Benito and Jonathan Cooper can get home versus Dak? You don't think Zach Allen can get home versus Dak?
Do you just basically have to play the Cowboys offense as a defense, honestly, meaning it's a pretty base formation because they have so many different ways they can beat you?
No, not at all. I mean, I think
you're going to dial up blitzes. I get that. But
what do you mean by honestly? Like what?
Don't go crazy on blitzing, or else CeeDee Lamb's going to win. Even though CeeDee Lamb is playing against Surtain, more than likely, Surtain has proven he can shut down great wide receivers. And let's see what Moss does against Pickens. But then who the fuck covers Ferguson, who can eat you up all day as well?
Well, I mean, you could put a nickel, corner on him.
No one's covered Ferguson this year.
Well, no one's going to, and that's the mismatch that a good tight end presents. I mean, a guy who's big, long, has a good catch radius, can runs good routes, is smart. I mean, look at Travis Kelce. He's not the fastest guy out there.
Say smartest?
I guess so. That was a Freudian slip. No, but he's not. He's a very smart football player.
Yeah.
And he understands zones. He understands where to sit. He understands leverage. He understands how to get open. You don't have to be super fast to do so. And if you have a long body and you can have good hands, it's gonna be hard limiting his catches. And that's okay. And that's why I'm talking about the Broncos offense here, because the Cowboys offense is gonna score points.
Yeah.
Okay. They're very good. They're the best offense in the NFL. Okay. The Broncos defense has not faced a good offense like this yet. They haven't even faced a good offense at all yet. I guess the Colts. The Colts are the best offense they faced, and they had some trouble against them. They faced the Chargers offense, had a little bit of trouble against them.
Had major problems against the Giants too.
Had some problems against the Giants, and they're not a good offense.
No.
They got some juice,
yeah,
but they're not really good. And so the Broncos defense has an incredible test in front of them, and for that reason, the offense has to take it upon themselves to win this game.
The Broncos offense has proven they can eat up a bad defense. Just look at that Bengals game in which they scored 28 points. They can move the ball against really bad defenses. And statistically, the Cowboys are the worst in football. I want to bring up something from your favorite company, PFF, Pro Football Focus. I know you're not a big fan of, but when the Broncos are trailing in a game, Bo Nix has completed 76% of his passes for over 1,000 yards to go with 11 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 102. That information courtesy of, why do you think Nix is considerably better in the fourth quarter than quarters 1 through 3?
Not overthinking it. Not overthinking it is one. Play calling changes. I think that's it. He's not overthinking the play calls, and the play calls are changing because you're behind. And so you're not,
is it also
you're not trying to make it perfect.
Is it also a case, though, that in a hurry up, you get to face the same defense every single time?
Certainly.
As long as you don't let them walk off the field with another personnel change.
Yeah, the tempo is something that matters there too, because the Broncos routinely use all 40 seconds of the play clock, right? And it takes 10 to 12 seconds for Sean Payton to decide what he wants to do, and then tell the guys on the sideline who need to go on the field now and switch the personnel group. So by the time you get the guys off and on, you got 25 seconds left on the play clock. So Bo's got to give that call pretty quick, and they got to run to the line of scrimmage. Now it's at 14, 13. Everyone's getting set. Now you got a motion. Now you got to and so the defense is allowed to attack. I mean, they're able to pin their ears back, wait for the play clock to go down, and then just attack. And Bo seems like he doesn't like that. He's mentioned enough. He's alluded to it a couple times, and the stats bear it out. So why not speed it up from the jump?
So is there a way to speed it up? And I'm a layman in football knowledge compared to you. Could they run an offense that after the play is over, they just line up at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
They can milk the play clock down to 5 if they want to. They don't have to be the K-gun Buffalo Bills, in which they had a hurry-up offense all the time. Clearly, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the defense if you are going 3 and out. But Sean's still in his ear for a while. But line up at the line of scrimmage instead of huddling and force that defense to stay on the field. Then you can call whatever the fuck you want, because you see the personnel out there, and you can call plays that the defense will not be able to probably cover.
So how are you gonna communicate that to the rest of your team if they're not in a huddle?
Just call the plays at the line of scrimmage.
So the defense
especially at home.
So the defense can hear it?
Well, do they know the plays?
Sure, if they hear it, they'll be able to figure it out.
Well, but you're not calling the same play every time. It's not like you're playing. Eric, it's not like a best of 7 playoff series.
Eric, the verbiage on a play will tell you where the play's going. And if you're a smart football player and you hear the play, you'll know if it's a run, you'll know if it's a pass, you'll know which side it's going on, you'll know where the strength is.
Good point.
You'll know all that. So there's a reason why the 2-minute offense is a pared down sort of hand signal version of what you do. It's like 15 to 20% of what your playbook is, because I can't tell you anything fancy. If we're at the line of scrimmage, I can't give you a play that has shifts and motions, really, because that's the long-winded very verbose play that requires us all to be here and know what's going on. If we're all on the line of scrimmage, I got to say something like, Omaha, you know what I mean? And then like 2-2, lightning, like stuff like that.
Right.
You can't give a whole long wordy play like they get in the huddle. But what you could do in the huddle is say, all right, 2 plays here. We're going to do 2 plays in a row, or 3 plays in a row.
Right.
Or on the ball. We're going to go check with me on the ball after this next play. And you can
that's the way to
line up some plays. Yeah. You can line up some plays and know that, and I could just give you a signal, 1-1-1 or 2-2-2 or 3-3, memorize 5 plays, whatever it is. Let's do a sequence that we know what we're going to do. Let's practice it on Friday. And then in the first series of the game, let's go out there and know the first 3 plays we're going to do are in a row.
Here's the irony of all of this. In Russell Wilson's final year, this mirrors Bo Nix. Russ wasn't very good quarters 1 through 3, but then suddenly Russell looked like one hell of a quarterback in the 4th quarter for more than a few games.
Yeah.
And what's the common denominator? Sean Payton.
Yeah. I think Sean Payton, this is like a more existential big picture thing that I think is going on with Sean Payton.
You got to stop touching the mic, man. I mean, this is almost becoming phallic in some ways.
In your mind, because you are thinking of things like that. And I'm sorry that you're going there.
You just, it's
I'm sorry you're going there.
It's not a hamster. It doesn't need to be petted all the time. Go have your drink of water. This is nice.
I'm going to hold it the rest of the show. So
that sums up what you've been doing the whole time.
Okay, good. So what was the question?
I totally about Russell Wilson.
I know what the question was, Eric. I was about to give you a more substantive sort of philosophical thing that I think is going on with Sean
Let's
Payton.
make it clippable starting now.
Sean Payton needs to stop looking at his tenure here or his success or failure through the lens of how is my offense? And he needs to start looking at it and how is my team? Maybe he's not calling very good plays right now. And maybe that's okay because everything else on the team is awesome, right? They're fit. They're first place. Their defense is great. They're situationally very aware.
And they're totally undisciplined.
The organization is running very well. He's turned the thing around top to bottom, the routine, the schedule, the practice, the health, the training methods. All of it is top notch, Eric.
I agree.
And so what I'm saying is you're responsible for all that, Sean. It's all on you. So stop thinking about your success or the way people view you through the lens of your offensive statistical prowess. If you win football games, you're the architect. If you win it all, you're the man. Who cares if you're calling the plays or not? If someone else has a finger on the pulse that's a little more effective and gets these guys moving in the first half, and you empower that person, guess what? You're the fucking genius, Sean, not the guy you gave the play calling duties to. And if you take us all the way to the Super Bowl and you hoist that trophy, who cares who called the plays? You're the man for doing it.
Are you suggesting he gives up play calling duties because he said he's not going to do it?
I understand that. If he continues to struggle this way, then he might have to. Or at least ask yourself if that's the right thing for the team. I mean, we're not there yet.
Do you think he has the ability and he's introspective enough to know what I'm doing quarters 1 through 3 is not working?
That's a very good question because, after the game, he was upset and there's a lot to clean up. And I think that, he talked about how we had to clean up our own mess in the fourth quarter. More specifically, I would say they had to clean up your mess, Sean. Your offense had to clean up your mess. And they did that. And the more that happens, the more you're going to have to start reflecting on why that's happening. And a team like the Dallas Cowboys, my belief is you can't – that mess, if you make that mess in the first half, you won't be able to clean it up in the fourth quarter because they'll have hung 40 on you. And so I think that it's going to be a really interesting game on Sunday. Sean Payton is a brilliant coach. I think he can figure it out.
All right. Once again, this segment and this show is brought to you by Landmark Lincoln and the brand new Lincoln Navigator. This thing is a great ride. Take it for a test drive today. Go to Inglewood. They are right off of Broadway and ask for this specific model, this gorgeous twin turbo. It is luxury, inside, outside, great power. The brand new Lincoln Navigator. You can find them once again, Landmark Lincoln, off of Broadway and Inglewood. I know that you know the history of the Broncos. You got both hands on it now. Well
That's
done.
what she said. Wow.
You had to go down that road.
You already went down it, dude.
Nah, I was trying
Come
to tap
on,
dance
man.
around it a little bit, and you had to go full
Bing
Monty
Crosby
on
over
that
here?
thing.
You want to go tap dancing?
No, thank you.
Okay.
So, is Bo Nix starting to remind you a little bit of John Elway in this sense? I'm not saying he is John Elway. I'm not saying his career is going to be like John Elway. What I am saying, though, is I think that Bo Nix's career is starting to mirror John Elway specifically early on. Dan Reeves is blamed a lot for his conservative play calling in quarters 1 through 3. And then, metaphorically speaking, he would look at John and say, go win it for us, in which John Elway did quite a bit. Is it starting to feel that way with Payton and Nix? I know we weren't very good in the first quarter through the third quarter. Bo, go win it for us. Is it starting to make you think there are some similarities?
I mean, the ability to capture a magic moment and lead your team on a fourth quarter comeback, yes. And that's hard to teach that. You can't teach that. You either got it or you don't, right? But there's the marriage between the head coach or the offensive mind and the quarterback. It's a very perilous, fraught relationship that can, because of the dynamic in play, derail a promising team. Because the coach wants it his way. He wants it to look his way. Like I was saying earlier, I called this play. It was a perfect play. There was one answer and you fucked it up.
Right.
But there isn't just one answer. There's a lot of answers to this test. If you can make a play, that's your answer. And a player's instinct often supersedes the teaching or the education they got from the coach or the film study or the installation and the game plan and things like that. That's why he's out there on the field. That's why you're not, Sean. That's why the coaches aren't out there. The players are the ones with the talent, the instinct, and the ability in the moment to make those plays. So how is a coach with as much knowledge as Sean Payton had and as much experience and as much success as he's had, empower his players to be themselves on the field and make the plays that they can make, but also be smart in the moment and make intellectually advantageous plays for their team. And that's the balance. And I think that's the balance that all coaches struggle with. I can't hold your hand out there and tell you what to do. I got to work as hard as I can all week to prepare you. But then on game day, I got to fucking cut you loose. This is your show now. It's not mine. And sometimes I think Sean Payton wants it to be about him. He wants him to be the reason we won instead of his players. Sean, you're Martin Scorsese. You're Francis Ford Coppola, man. You're not fucking Robert De Niro. You're not George Clooney. Step behind the camera. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And let your players be the stars.
So I saw a power rankings, and it had the Broncos at number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand the Broncos are 5-2. You are what your record says you are. They are on top of the AFC West. Do the Broncos feel like the 5th best team in the league to you right now?
To me, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
Watching all the games.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about record. I'm saying I know what your eyes tell you when you look at the standings, but my eyes tell me a different story when I actually watch the games.
What do yours tell you?
They are an incredibly inconsistent team that you can make the case they could be 7-0.
Yep.
But their offense is nowhere near good enough to win playoff games. They will have to rely heavily on their defense, and their defense has been run over now at least 2 times this season. We'll see what happens against the Cowboys. Special teams seems to make a mistake a game. I understand that they are winning games, but this does not look like the 5th best team in football. I mean, I can't tell you about every other team in football, and because I don't watch all of their games. But does this look like a team that can win the Super Bowl today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they just beat the team that did win the Super Bowl the most recent time they had a freaking Super Bowl.
So did the Giants. Yeah. And they boat raced them 34-17.
And that's why I think, and I think part of what I'm saying about the Broncos, being the number 5 team in the league has to do with the inconsistency of everyone else. There are no powerhouses. Who's the powerhouse right now? Who, Tampa Bay?
Right. Colts?
Yeah, the Broncos beat up on the Bucks last year.
Yeah.
And almost beat the Colts in Indy and probably should have, right?
Right.
So who is the powerhouse? Who is the one we're scared of? Are we really afraid of anybody? It's the Chiefs, right?
Yeah. It's
the Chiefs and the Bills to me. And so in that regard, I feel very encouraged that they're 5-2 despite the inconsistencies that you just mentioned, despite the things that aren't going well. And it shows how good of a coach Sean Payton is in all the other ways to prepare his team to go play. And so they don't have to play a perfect game to win. And just imagine how good they're going to be when they do get clicking on offense in the first quarter, on the first drive. How dominant they'll be with this defense playing at the level they are. And all of a sudden the offense comes and meets them halfway. This is a team that could win the Super Bowl.
All right. Give me a prediction for the Cowboys game.
I think it's going to be 55-54. Broncos win. A nail biter.
55-54, huh?
48-42, something like that.
You really think
it could be a barn burner?
So both teams easily, in your opinion, score over 30 points.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally set up that way.
I think Broncos win 35-32.
Okay. And I'm going to, in homage to George Carlin, I'm going to give you a partial score. Broncos 32. That's going to do it for us. He's Nate. I'm Eric. We just went deep. I think we did. We'll talk to you on Monday at 11 a.m.